welcome back. Of course, this is the Daybreak Africa, and today we'll be looking into a very interesting topic that is, I must say, is everywhere: the Rivers State crisis, the Fubara, the Wiki, and everything going on over there. Today we'll be doing a very good justice to it, as we have with you, with us here, a very wonderful analyst, which I'm very sure most of you are conversant with, in person of Sam Olorunfemi. A very good morning to you.
Michael, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. To begin with, I thought you wanted to go first.
The way he even greeted us,
Exactly. I
I was like,
was waiting for him to say something.
Well, I want to say good morning to the good people of River State.
Yeah.
And all these things that are playing out is not new in River State. It's not new. You see, only during Dr. Sir Peter Odili era that we did not see much of godfatherism, godson. But during that era, we saw more of courtism in River State, bunkering, pipeline vandalism. But right from Amechi's era down to our Siminalaye or and his godfather now, no, it has been an issue. But my major concern is our former governor, the FCTO1 now, no, we call him FCTO1 now. You should understand that he fought the fight for Obaseki in Edo State. It's in the news. He fought the fight for Obaseki in Edo State between Obaseki and Ashiomale. When he said rightly that this issue of godfatherism must end in Nigerian politics. You understand now? He made mention of it that, you know, if moment you have a person in office as a governor, allow him to have the state, allow him to have his stay, and allow him to enjoy his tenure in office. Now the question is, what has changed now in River State? What and Angela, Micheal, if you ask me, I will tell you that this is not new in our politics. In fact, I can cast your memory back to what happened in Oyo State between former Governor Ladoja and late Adedibu. In fact, that was what led to the removal of Ladoja as a governor of Oyo State. Since 1999, in the Fourth Republic, Ladoja happens to be the first governor to be removed by the State House of Assembly, and issue of godfather, godson between Ladoja and late Adedibu in Oyo State. But later on, Ladoja went to a court and he got his mandate back from Supreme Court. We saw it between Ngigi and Andy Uba in Anambra State. We even saw it between the former APC national leader, now the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode. Don't forget that scenario in 2019. You saw. We even saw it in Osun between Aregbesola and Oyetola, the former governor of that particular state. So it's not new in our politics, but is deepening and is caging our democracy. I said something here when I was here analyzing post-2023 presidential election. I made mention that the EU observers that they were here to observe the election, they made mention of something when they were giving their report, that Nigerian democracy is like a 2 steps forward and a 5 steps backward. But what people are saying, Angela, is that Fubara himself should know that there must have been an agreement between him and Wiki, because the fact that we cannot deny that Wiki brought in Sim Fubara to become the governor of River State. That is a fact that nobody can deny anywhere. Wiki brought him, and I want to believe, I wasn't there, but I want to believe that there must be an agreement between him and Wiki. Now, I will make you to become the next governor. I will do everything possible. Because it's not easy, Angela. You know, I was here after the election that the first time political opposition will win River State presidential election and Delta State. If you look at the just concluded 2023 presidential election, thank God we were live on set together that particular day. First time PDP will not win River State. First time PDP will not win Delta State. Labour Party won Delta State. APC won River State presidential election. Unprecedented in the history of presidential election, especially in the South-South region, because South-South is predominantly People Democratic Party power. Since 1999, nobody can refute that. But what did we see in the last election? We saw how Wiki played that unexpected game Baba Olowo said something that in politics, you see what you don't expect. What you don't even expect at all in politics, you see, because who could have thought that PDP will not win Rivers State? So now look at the game played during the 2023 presidential election. Wike delivered Rivers State to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and during the governorship election, he delivered the state to PDP, to his party. So we know that Wike brought Fubara to become the next governor of Rivers State. I want to believe there must have been agreement between both that I will make you the next governor of Rivers State, but these are the things you do, these are the things you don't do. And it now borders to another question, that where is now a fair play in our political system today? This EU of Godfather or no Godfather. On this EU, this will be the third media house that I will be analyzing this EU of River and EU. And someone asked me that, can we even see an end to this EU of Godfatherism in Nigeria?
I would like to come in there firstly, before you even talk about the fair play that you just mentioned now. Before we go there, of course we'll get there. But now, you made mention of agreements.
Agreement is agreement. Sorry, Becca. You know, when we came was, this man is a mouthful of Germans. When he was here as the governor of Rivers State, when that EU came out between him and Atiku, one of the songs, agreement is agreement.
Now,
one of the songs.
I want to understand the part of agreement, but let's come to constitution, and let's come to the fairness and wellness of the state in question. Of course, when you need something dearly, you can possibly make some agreement.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, when you get into office and you see the whole thing that is happening, the states, the way the state of the whole situation is, the economy and everything, you might be like, okay, I want to make change here. I want to do something different. I have a good plan for this state. But at the end of the day, you might be tied down by this agreement. But now you want to break loose. Do you think what is really playing out is this kind of scenario?
Exactly. And let me just give you a typical example. The one I started earlier, Aregbesola and Oyetola. When Aregbesola was living in 2018, he brought Oyetola, you understand now, and one of the policies adopted by Aregbesola's government that almost turn Osun State upside down. This issue of uniformity in schools, that whether you are a Muslim school, you are a Christian schools, you put on the same uniform. It's like we saw merger in schools in Osun State.
Even girls' school and
girls' school and
school together.
Put them together, coming up with the policy that is not even okay with our kind of policy. When Oyetola came on board, the first thing he did was to disband the everything. In fact, he called the town meeting. Oyetola called the town meeting, and it was like, this policy will not work. My administration will not go with the policy of my predecessor. That was the genesis of crisis between Aregbesola and Oyetola. You said now. So just based on the question you asked, that agreement will be there in the first place, that on getting on board, you don't realize that, oh no, this agreement cannot work with my administration. I can't go with it. That there's a need for me now to shift grant. And Micheal, you see that in when you enter an agreement, whether written or not written, when you breach it, it's a fault to the law. Agreement is a law, Micheal. If both of us enter an agreement, Sam, you'll be here tomorrow by 7 a.m. and I said yes, whether written or not written. If I did not come tomorrow 7 a.m., I've breached the agreement. Now you can't trust me again. And people, in fact, when you go to social media, people were like, "Is footballer doesn't know that this thing will play out at the end of the day when you enter an agreement?" Again, it comes to the issue of people quest to become or to be in power. Power is sweet. Ebeke, you see governors going with 7 or 6 convoys now, police officer running after you now. People were like, "Is footballer want to tell us that didn't know initially that all this thing will be playing out after him becoming the governor of Rivers State?" So this is not the first time. In fact, when you look at the EU that happened between the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Ambode in Lagos State, that led to Ambode not winning. In fact, Ambode lost out at the primary. In fact, he did not allow him to even contest that election. He lost out the primary. At that particular time, when Bola Tinubu was addressing the pressmen, it was like Ambode did fantastic job. That he did excellently well, but he did not align with the laid down agreement in accordance with the party EU and so on and so forth. That was what led to the EU between Tinubu and Akinwumi Ambode, that Ambode did not even win 20, if I did not win the party's primary, not to talk of winning the election. You understand? So that EU has been there, and it has been headlong in Nigerian politics. Again, it came out between Baba Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan. In 2015, when Jonathan was seeking re-election to become the president, Obasanjo wrote letter, a voluminous letter to Goodluck Jonathan, cited a lot of things, and in summary of that Baba's letter, Baba was like, when Jonathan became the president, he got to a point that Jonathan did not even listen to elders again, that Jonathan did not even take instruction from elders again, that he started doing everything in Abuja. So that EU broke out between Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, and it has been like that, and like that. So the one that is coming out in Rivers State up to now, we cannot pinpoint a particular EU that caused this crisis between.
I was actually going to go there because we actually don't know if actually a contract was drafted, if it's all about the high-handedness of Nyesom Wike, or if it has to do with the alleged money that Fubara is supposed to give to Nyesom Wike. So these are just speculations that we have. So what brought about the impeachment in the first place?
I think
and is it even constitutional to do so?
Yes, I think on Sunday, Angela, a news broke out that a session of Rivers State House of Assembly got burned, and this issue of allegation and counter-allegation were made to know that some loyalists to Governor Fubara were the one. I cannot substantiate that particular news now, but we were told that some loyalists at the House of Assembly to Governor Fubara were the one that perpetrated that particular act. And what did we see on Monday? We saw the speaker on Monday, one, suspending the leader of the house. And what did we see again? We saw some members. We saw the leader and some members constituting their whole factional assembly, becoming the speaker of Rivers State.
Yes.
In fact, I saw on X where Governor Fubara congratulated the factional speaker. I saw it because I'm following on X. I saw it on X. Governor Fubara congratulating the factional speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Then the move started that they want to impeach the governor. Let me start from the CEO of impeachment, Angela. We've seen quite a lot of unconstitutional impeachment in Nigeria, rightly from the State House of Assembly, when there's crisis maybe between the godfather and the godson, and the godfather is still having a larger percentage or quorum in the State House of Assembly. I started the EU of Ladoja and Adejubu in Oyo State that led to the impeachment of Ladoja. We saw, don't forget what happened in Anambra State, Peter Obi. Peter Obi was removed from office by the Anambra State House of Assembly, but he got the mandate back from court. We saw what happened in Ekiti State, when Fayose was here. Crisis between Fayose and Baba Obasanjo. Fayose was removed as the governor of Ekiti State by the Ekiti State House of Assembly because of the crisis. We saw what happened in Plateau State during the former governor Joshua Dairi. In Plateau State was removed because of crisis between him and the godfather. We saw it again in Adamawa. The former governor, Rear Admiral Murtala Yaku, was removed by the Adamawa State House of Assembly. So all these are not new. This issue of State Assembly removing governor, removing deputies because of crisis between godfather, godson, and someone there dictating for the house, removed it. So we've seen a lot of these shenanigans from the State House of Assembly removing the governor or the speaker. Now, the latest now is that we had news that a court in Rivers State, they've ruled that Rivers State House of Assembly should not impeach the governor. In fact, was it on Monday or Tuesday when the governor was, in fact, again, another scenario that broke out in Rivers State when the governor was attacked. I watched the video.
Yes.
When he was attacked by the water tank of the police officer and so on and so forth. And people were like, are you attacking the sitting governor in the state, the chief executive officer? Even though the chief executive officer we're talking about is on paper, is not constitutional, whether we like it or not. And that's not the first time. We saw the same thing during Micheal, when she, the lawyer, and others were the lawmakers in Rivers House of Assembly, where Rotimi was also attacked right at the Rivers State House of Assembly. So that particular one is still there. And when Fubara was addressing his loyalists, he has his own loyalists. It was like nothing new. If they should impeach him, it will not be the first, whether it will be the last. And they said that if they want to kill him, that they should come and kill him. You should know. So it has gone to that particular level in Rivers State. Like I mentioned, I put something on my social media that when Wike was there as a governor, he was fighting Rotimi Amaechi as a minister. Now Wike is he has become a minister now. The governor of that particular state is fighting him. That these are not the things that we're supposed to be seen in our political space, especially in Rivers State. Now, like I said now, when Dr. Sapita Odili was there in Rivers State, nobody controlled it. But when Amaechi came on board, it was Celestine Omeya that won the election in 2007. But Rotimi Amaechi went to court that the primary that produced Celestine Omeya was marked with irregularity. At the end of the day, Rotimi Amaechi was given that mandate from Supreme Court. Rotimi Amaechi was there for 8 years as the governor of Rivers State. Now, during that time, at the end of that tenure, don't forget at the end of that tenure, Rotimi Amaechi decamped to APC alongside in 2014 alongside Atiku Abubakar, Saraki, and so on and so forth. But what did we see? Wike won the election in 2015 governorship election in Rivers State, and Wike did not allow Rotimi Amaechi to control him when he was there as the governor of Rivers State. Wike did not give room for interference, because if you ask me now, truly, Wike is now a stakeholder in Rivers politics, because we can see him as a former governor, so he's a strong stakeholder in Rivers politics. But now Wike is not the governor of the state. Wike is not the FCT minister. Let him face his ministerial assignment.
Exactly,
so
where I want to come in now. You've made mention of a lot of godfatherism that has been playing out. But right now, if you look at River State, it has become a playground of such events, such scenario that each time if one outgoing governor is out, the next one will be facing situations like this. Wike right now is the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. A lot of responsibility on the shoulder.
Exactly.
He needs to face that.
Now,
looking at what is happening right now, is it constitutionally for him to be having such issues? And outside it that, okay, there are agreements. And I'm very sure if your agreements are clear that, okay, you have good intentions with your agreement, you're supposed to be written down, maybe possibly signed and followed by law. But when we don't have written agreements, definitely we have shady deals behind it. Because if you are clear with your agreement, you're supposed to make it out. All this playing out right now. In the first place, do you even think Wike deserves to be the senator, the minister of FCT?
Well, Michael can become a minister. Angela can become a minister. That's what the law says.
Then what is going on right now?
What the law says is that president will pick one ministerial nominee from each state. All states must be well represented. That's what the law says. So law doesn't say that these are the set of people that can become a minister, or these are not the set of that one. So Wike has the right as a citizen of Nigeria to become a minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. But what is our concern here is that you've done your 8 years without any interference. In fact, Wike did it to a point that he got to a point nobody can even say Rotimi Amaechi was a former governor of Rivers State. He did not even allow him to even breathe as a former governor of Rivers State. Michael, he got to a point. Nobody even recognizes Rotimi Amaechi again as the former governor of Rivers State, to a point that how Wike held on to power when he was here in Rivers State. Now you are out of office. Allow the person that is there to continue the job, and good things for you. You are now FCT minister. Where's El-Rufai? Don't forget, both of them were nominated together to become minister. But due to one security report and so on and so forth, El-Rufai was unable to clear it. Now he's not a sitting minister, he's outside the country. But thank God that you were given that particular portfolio and you were given FCT. In fact, people are talking that you are is the total governor now, because no FCT, they don't have governor. Whoever becomes the FCT minister is being referred to as governor of FCT. So Wike should allow Fubara to continue his governance in Rivers State. Whether we like it or not, 8 years, maximum 8 years, Fubara as well will leave power. Will not be there. Like an example I cited, where is Dr. Odili today? Where is Rotimi Amaechi today? Where is even Wike himself today as governor of Rivers State? So what I'm saying is that, see, this issue of godfatherism cannot go away in our politics. Someone asked me, and I said it can't go away. And they said, why? I said, in as much we have it in our law. Do you know how we have it? Someone said, how do we have godfatherism in our law? I said, it's very simple. I said, now, if you want to contest for any political office in Nigeria, maybe right from the House of Assembly member, rep, senate, governor, president, 4 prerequisites is very clear in our law. 1, you must be a citizen of the Federal Republic. 2nd, you must attain a particular age based on the position you are good. Then the third is the issue of godfatherism. The issue of you must run on a political party. No, till today now, there's nothing like independent candidacy in Nigeria politics. No matter the office you want to run for, you have to run under a political party. The last one is talking about academic qualification. But where we have this whole crisis is the issue of running on a political party. Now, don't forget the one that's played out in Kogi State between the outgoing governor Yaya Bello and the APC candidate. You know, we were told that Yaya Bello paid the APC candidate
anointed God
to succeed him. And this thing are not new in our politics. So, in as much that you have to run on a political party before your nomination can be valid for INEC, then this godfatherism will be there, because in political party we have some people we call them big waves. They are stakeholders in the people. They are the one that will dictate what will happen. In fact, when I was live on the radio station in Adokiti recently, I was like, people should not forget, between 1999 and 2011, there's a particular language that's very common in our political space. Baba Sawupe, Baba said that. You know, the issue of Baba said that we should give our ticket. Baba said that we should not give our ticket. Baba said that this is how we should go. Very, very common in our political system then. Now, in as much we say that particular thing there, it will continue. And it is common in our politics. When Micheal was leaving office in 2016 in those days, he tried to bring Eita Ogede to succeed him, but Eita Ogede did not win. When Fayose, former governor of Ekiti State, was leaving, he brought his deputy, Professor Eleka. He did not win. In fact, when Fayemi was leaving, Fayemi was the one that brought in the current governor of Ekiti. So that thing it has now become an issue in our politics. When a governor is leaving office, they tend to bring out anointed candidate that will succeed them. Whether that candidate will be accepted.
Don't you think that is driving away? Don't you think that is driving away competency? Because now, if you are bringing someone in, it's more like a puppet.
Exactly.
Whatever you blow into it is what is going to come out as the sound.
Exactly.
So definitely, we are not really looking into competency anymore, and it's really telling on our administration and everything that is going. Don't you think it's driving away sanity from our democratic space?
In fact, Michael, the same thing in Ebonyi State. The current governor of Ebonyi State was brought in by David Umai. The current minister of works. It was the one that brought in the current governor of Ebonyi State. Single-handedly brought him out that this is the person. You know, in a situation whereby a governor will be planning to leave office and will be telling people that this is the person that will succeed me. Who does that in a democracy that works? Who does that? That is the person, and those governors will use everything, all government paraphernalia, to ensure that the anointed candidate succeeds them in office. So that has been the major problem in our politics. In fact, that was this thing that broke out between Shomale and Obaseki. Don't forget, Obaseki happened to be a Lagos man. It was Adam Oshiomhole that brought Obaseki to Edo, and it was Oshiomhole that ensured that Obaseki became the governor of Edo State in 2016. I covered Edo election in 2016. It's everywhere that Adam Oshiomhole brought Obaseki. What did you see later on? The crisis happened, and they broke away. So let them continue bringing candidates. There will be crises that will be detaching them. If that is the only way that we get rid of this, because Michael, it will not be easy for something like that to get away in our politics, because we are still practicing that. To me, that politics of no sense of belonging, that you don't allow people to freely make their choice that who will succeed, who will not succeed. So today, that has been the pattern of some governors in Nigeria. By the time they will be leaving, in fact, it's one of the kinds that is brilliant in those states. I think the last time I was here, I and Ezekiel and Edith were discussing Ondo politics, all because of 2024. It's not because of politics. Because some people are saying that this is the anointed candidate of Mr. Governor, this is the person that Mr. Governor wants to succeed him, that Governor don't want his deputy to succeed him. Now, the same thing now is, thank God, the one in Rivers State now successfully carried out in 2023 governorship election. Fubara became the governor. But maybe at long run, Fubara discovered that I can't continue on this trajectory. It's unheard that a sitting governor will still be using commissioners used by a predecessor. Come on, that is not politics. That is bad.
What would you say about some comments where people were coming out to say that Fubara should also be faulted because, you know, before the election, just like you said,
yes,
he should have foreseen this thing playing out already.
And you know the person you are dealing with
going into such agreement or commitment with such a person. So what
Angela,
do you have to say about that?
politics is a game. why do I say politics is a game? You know, football as well is not new in Rivers politics. Father may be like, well, Wike also played the kind of gentleman game for him to become governor, and after becoming governor, he used the state apparatus to fight his predecessor, and he won the fight. That way, is it not for me to become governor? Let's all agreement I will sign. Don't worry, I will use all your commissioners, even if it is your shirt, governor. Don't worry, I will use now. Don't worry now. It is your shirt. If it is your heart, governor, I will use. Just allow me to become a governor. By the time I'm not a governor, and I spend some times here, try to spread my own structure, try to have my own loyalists, then we will know who truly the governor of the state. I want to believe that exactly what is planned, because in a statement that I tried to extract from the statement of the Mr. Governor, he said that if they should impeach him, he will not be the first governor to be impeached. If they killed him, because he accused DCP operations of Rivers State that he pointed God at him. And he said that if they should kill him, he will not be the first person to be killed. So it shows that that's why I got into a point that I'm not going back in this particular fight, that I will fight the fight to stand still. And what do they see? We started to see some people in Rivers State align with the governor. So that's why I said that politics is a game, Angela, because no, I want to believe that he must have seen all this, that this thing will play out, but we tell you that no, let me get the power first. If I should get the power, I know how to play the game. Because now we've seen some people, some residents of Rivers State, try to pitch their tent with the governor, saying that, Wike, you were there for 8 years. Nobody interfered in your process. Allah and Angela, this is where the game is coming in. By the time you started gaining the sympathy of your people, Angela, it's a very big way to, as a politician, if your people are in your support, you are gaining their support, you are gaining their sympathy against maybe your godfather or any external interference. It's a big plus for you as a city politician, and that is possible for Fubara to use that template now, because people are saying now that Wike should allow this man to breathe. So for people saying that now, Angela, is a game that, okay, by the time people started gaining, by the time Fubara started gaining sympathy of river residents and so on and so forth, you get to a point, people will tell you that, okay, you've done your 8 years, allow this guy to do it easy. But again, Angela, we've seen another signal now that when you are going to power, understand the kind of game you are going into. All this thing goes beyond. It is true, power is okay, power is sweet, people will be running after you and so on and so forth, but you must understand. In fact, I read some comment on X where people are trying to lambast Governor Fubara that, don't you know that this thing will play out in the first place? When you sign the agreement, whether written or not written, whether verbal or non verbal, when you sign the agreement. Because I want to believe that Wike must have told him that, you really want to become the governor, I will make you governor, but these are the things that you must follow. These are the things you must not dare touch. These are the things that have been in place, and you must continue on this trajectory. No, because of power, you say now, and you say yes. But now that you are now in power, and you now have your people, you know, by that particular time, Fubara is yet to become a governor. So there's nobody will tell him that, no, Mr. Governor, this is how to do it. If you do it this way, it will bring a plus to you. But now I want to believe that people are telling you that, Mr. Governor, if you continue on this trajectory, you will continue to be giving plus to your predecessor. It will not give plus to you. In fact, it will not look as if you are the one working. It will look as if it's your predecessor still working, and all the glory will still be going back to your predecessors. So I want to believe that that's because up to now, Angela, nobody can sit somewhere. So then this is exactly what happened between the governor and his predecessor in office. But what I'm saying is that we must put our hand to all these politics. Or to me, I want to be a little bit circumspect now. All this politics that is not healthy to our democracy, because all these things are not healthy. And again, Angela, that's why you see that when a particular governor is about leaving office, you will see a lot of people showing their loyalty to Mr. Governor. Oh, this just for Mr. Governor to annoy them. And I keep saying it, governors are powerful in Nigeria, Angela. In fact, there's nowhere you want to say it. Governors, they are very powerful. When they say that this, especially when it comes to state governorship election, they will use everything possible to retain power, to even bring their own anointed candidate to become the governor of that particular state. In Delta State, you know, it was a talk of war between Ovio Magigi of APC and the current governor. The current governor happens to be an candidate of Okowa. Go and make your research. All these states that we have new governors, go and see them. Especially, they happen to be a candidate of their former governors. And when you look at the trend, something that's playing out now in Nigeria today now, you can never see a deputy governor now succeeding their boss. It happens to be those who are the helm of affairs of finance. They are the one they are picking now. Maybe a minister of finance or people in charge of money. In fact, I made to know that this Fubara happens to be in charge of Rivers Finance EU when Wike was the governor of Rivers State. So that is the simple. So Wike should please. In fact, recently I had Fubara saying that it's a fight between a godfather and a godson. So both of them, they are the one that can explain deep about what transpired that led to this crisis, and maybe someone is trying to use state assembly to impeach the speaker, the governor, and so on and so forth. So he said that it's a game between godfather and godson. Whether godfather and godson, the interest of the city of Rivers State should be at the forefront, not your interest or the interest of your predecessor. Because two of you, your number is abysmal minimum. You are two, and we're talking about a state with over 10 million population. And so it shouldn't be between the godfather and the godson. They should put the interest of Rivers people at the forefront.
Exactly what you've just said. Now, I want to believe we said agreements, and the whole thing has been playing out. Their numbers, they are just two.
Exactly.
Now, it has become a norm in Nigeria that when citizens roll out in their number to say, okay, we are not okay with this, they are being fought by the law enforcement agencies. In this situation of Rivers State, we see a lot of casualties, a lot of people, because they came out in their numbers to say, okay, we don't like what is really going on. This situation, the governor also laid claims that it was almost shot, that they shot at him, that it was, if they want to kill him, as he said, they should kill him, and the rest. What do you make of these when our law enforcement agencies are being compromised down to the lives of the citizens? They are supposed to protect lives and properties, but now they are going against citizens that are laying their complaint and say, okay, we don't want this situation to go on.
You see, Micheal, again, we need to blame this on the political gladiators. You know, they are the one causing all this problem today, tomorrow. That makes I'm not the spokesman of the Nigerian police force, so I'm not speaking for police now. That does make as if police officers are going against the right of the citizens. So I think in Rivers, I was sure that some set of people were arrested in Rivers State. Maybe some people tried to attack the Speaker of the House, or maybe attack the lodge or the resident of the Speaker of the Kingdom of the House, and some people have been arrested in Rivers State. But to the one that is highly condemned, the one that we can condemn it totally, this issue of attack on Mr. Governor, barbaric and uncalled for. In fact, I'm expecting the Commissioner of Police in that state to have tendered an unreceived apology to the sitting governor. I watched the video, so it's not something that people consider that something that was fabricated somewhere or something that was doctored. No, live. We saw the video on live. So to me, you see, police must ensure that they know how to play by the rule of the game. We've seen cases whereby citizens will try to come out, try to exercise their right under the law, maybe show their displeasure on a particular issue. We've seen how they've been resisted by force. They can be resisted, but not by force. Not in such a way that casualty would be too many on that particular protest, because it is their right. If anything is good, in fact, don't forget in Ondo, we saw some protests at the Ondo State Assembly when issue of want to remove the deputy governor and so on and so on was in space. We saw some people with the placard at the Ondo State Assembly that they want to protest on the issue of removal of the deputy governor and so on. So it is normal when we have a kind of situation like this that people will come out to show their support. And in this kind of situation, we always have two sides. One that will be anti-governor and one will be pro-governor. We see side that will be supporting the former governor, and we see side that will be supporting the present governor. But what we're saying is that the reason why I said that all this should be blamed on our political gladiators is that they are the ones that are generating this issue. If there's no issue of clash between the godfather and the godson, there won't be any need for people trooping out, try to defend their right, or try to go to the State House of Assembly and do this and do that. Because there is crisis in place. Two gladiators are fighting, and their supporters will need to come out and defend their masters. One will defend the one in Rivers State, one will defend the one in Abuja. So to me now, our politicians, they must understand that all these, and like I said, all these are not healthy to our democracy. They must learn how to play by the rule of the game so that there will be peace, law and order in the state. No, the one we are talking about now, this issue of the crisis that we've seen so far in Rivers State, I want to tell you that the citizens that have been the one bear the brunt. Because you could see that within some days now that we have this crisis in Rivers State now, they've lost a lot of money, whether we like IGF, whether we like it or not, because it will affect the economy one way or the other. Because during that particular time, governance in Rivers State was on standstill, not moving because of the crisis. Whether they will remove the governor or not, people on the street protesting, we want to protect our governor. Someone in Abuja should stay in Abuja, don't come to Rivers. One in Rivers, honor the agreement that you entered with your predecessor. So chaos up and down. All this thing is just from our political gladiators. The moment we don't have all this there, things will go smoothly. But our police officer, they must show professionalism in their call, because time without number, people have been accusing our police officers the way they burn the situation. I know that it can get to a point whereby officers can be frustrated by the citizens. You know, it got to a point citizens will be protesting and they try to attack the police personnel, but you must allow professionalism to take place, especially in a situation like that, and particularly in a terrain like Rivers State. Rivers State is not an ordinary state. If anything should happen in Rivers in terms of crisis, if care is not taken, is capable of igniting other areas. Thank God for Mr. President now. He has made that we were told that during the last police council meeting, he called the governor of Rivers State and the former governor of Rivers State, and he talked to them that both of them should shade their swords. And recently, the PDP governor forum, they met with the governor of Rivers State just to tell him to calm down, to allow things to go, peace to reign in Rivers State. So our police officers, they must always ensure that they have done what we call a professionalism, rule of engagement between you and your citizens, because it is their right to come out and protest in any matter.
You earlier mentioned that part of the, let's say, rules put out whenever a candidate is being called forth is the issue of belonging to a particular political party, which brings about this issue of godfatherism. Now, it's quite bothering to know that yes, that factor would always be there, but yet again, can it not be played fairly instead of what we are saying?
See, Angela, it can be played fairly. But what we are looking at, I don't want to use the word being greedy by former governors. I don't know, maybe I've used the word how I do it now, but I want to be very careful now. You see, there's nothing wrong, Angela. If Sam is a former governor and on the verge of leaving office, I said, okay, Micheal would be good to continue what I've started in the last 8 years. Okay, Micheal, come and continue from where I stopped. There's nothing wrong in that, Angela. But what is wrong and what we are condemning is the issue of Sam still being somewhere, try to continue controlling Micheal as a sitting governor. That's where the problem started from in Nigeria. So that's where the problem lies, because like I said, there's nothing wrong. If you want to choose your successor, it is unconstitutional. Nobody can force that. Nobody can say that it is that when you are choosing your successor, it is against the law. It's not against the law. But what we are after is that after your 8 years in office, can you please, because there's no how you will choose a successor, Angela. It can't toe your line of administration. The new governor would like to come up with a new agenda, with a new policy, with a new structure that will even pronounce or bring him limelight in politics. But what these godfathers are after is that what I started, the programs I have in place, the policies I have in straight, the structure, like I said, the minister is talking about the structure you have in Rivers. I don't know the structure apart from his own personal residence. That is the only structure he can lay claim on, his own personal residence, not government house. That is his own structure. Anything structure is not his structure. The question we should ask him is that, did he build on the structure of Amishi? Did he build on the structure of Sapita Odili? So that's the problem. Why the problem lies, Angela? There's nothing wrong. You want to pick who will succeed you. But the issue of try to continue being in charge, dictating for a governor, you want to appoint a commissioner, no, this person that you appoint. The commissioner want to appoint SSA, no, appoint this, appoint that. If we get to a point that as a sitting governor, Angela, it won't go that way with you. Because by the time you are now a sitting governor, automatically you will have your own caucus. People that will be telling you that no, we don't have to do it this way, this is how to do it. And by the time those people are telling you, you will come to your realization that no, I can't continue with the way my predecessors did his own. Let me do my own in a separate ways. So that has been a problem in our politics, and that's why the issue of godfatherism is playing now. Don't forget that of Oshiomhole and Obaseki in 2020. No issue of godfatherism, that they don't want to pick Obaseki again, and that Oshiomhole want Eze Yabo to become the candidate of APC. And they were like, no, I brought Obaseki, and Obaseki was like, no, truly you brought me, but I'm the governor of the state. It's on end. Governor candidate that you cleared in 2016. Now in 2020, Obaseki, you are saying that he did not meet the requirements of the political party. You not screened him out. Who does that where? That was what led to Obaseki leaving APC, going to the PDP. So all this is one playing out and is causing problem in that. In fact, Angela, you see that even from a child to a father, you see a child, by the time you are 18 years or 19 years, there will be a little control from your father. No, it do happen within the family. That you will tell your father that, Daddy, you know, I'm a grown-up child now. I know what to do. I know what to do. And your parents will still be having up to today. My mother is still having some. My mother will still want to be controlling me, telling me to do this, telling me to do that. And this is my head. So it's normal, but it's not healthy when it comes to politics. Our godfathers, like a quote now, former governor, former president, by the time you are done in office, please allow those who are there now to run the office the way they want to run this. See, Angela, I'm happy that at times you produce Daybreak Africa, Micheal, Ezekiel, and others. We can't do this the same way. We all have our patterns in the way we are doing our things. So if former governors still believe that their predecessors, their successors will still be doing it the same way, that is wrong. So that's exactly what is playing out in Rivers politics today. Allow the governor to continue to have his own roadmap. How will you have a new governor in place that will not even appoint a new commissioners? How will you have a governor in place that will not even appoint new SSS?
All right.
That will still be using the former SSS for commissioners.
We are out of time, but I just want to chip this in, please. I am a lover of, let me say, the economy of the part of the whole thing. Now, we know what Rivers State represents in this country.
Exactly.
Now, we have this issue going on. As a political analyst and with your vast knowledge in situations like this, do we see a light at the end of the tunnel soon in that state as regard to economic issues?
We hope to see the light of the end of the tunnel very soon, because after the meeting with the Mr. President, both Wike and Fubara, they came out that Mr. President has waded in. We saw Governor Fubara say that it's a fight between, anytime you hear politicians say it's a fight between godfather and grandson, we are moving towards the end of resolving that particular issue. It's like they are coming on to resolve the issue. But we must understand that all this they are doing is to the detriment of the economy of Rivers State. No, I made mention that during these last few days that Rivers was in the news for crisis. The economy of that was particularly grounded, and they know how much they've lost now in that particular state. So they must put the industry that they must always put interest of their people at their forefront beyond their personal. All these are talking about is selfish interest. One who is no more there wants his interest to be at the forefront. The one that is there now wants his own interest to be at the forefront. What are talking about? They are talking about their own selfish interest, not the interest of the citizen. We want to be hearing things like, no, we want to employ more particular, more youth. My president said that we should employ 1 million, but I said that we need to employ 1.2 million. Those are the fights. Those are the things that we want to be hearing, not the fight that who still holds the power. Is this someone in Abuja still controlling Rivers State, or someone in Rivers State that's still controlling the power? So those are the things that we don't want to be hearing in our policy. And like an example I cited, it is not healthy to our democracy. It's making our politics more desperate for people, and that's why people want to come to power at all costs. By the time they get to power, they do whatever they like. So all those godfathers, all time they say are the godfather, they must understand that they've done their own. Let those who are on board now do their own and leave, so that others will come. Like I said, all this fight is affecting the economic growth of any state that we have this issue of breakout of crisis between the godfather and the godson.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
It's
Angela.
been a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Well, since the president has already called them to order, hopefully this will be resolved as soon as possible, and we hope not to be seeing this kind of issues coming up anytime soon, and we hope for a better nation and better leadership as well. Thank you so much again for because you have actually given so many advices, and I really hope that politicians out there should actually listen to the cry of the citizens and do as they are asked. Well, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for this episode of Daybreak Africa from our studio here in Ondo City, and we'll be handing you over to our Lagos station. Till I come your way again, I am Angela Daku.
I must say, as Nigerians that we are, we should always stay productive and stay successful in everything we do and do things right as Nigerian citizens. I remain Micheal Obagiri.